Hello, this is Gary Joyce with Tsunami Scuba with the July edition of Dive the Rock. I'm standing here at South Steps along the Sunabe seawall with Matt Lewis, one of our staff instructors, and we thought this would be a great site to revisit as there are many people PCSing to Okinawa and many new divers coming on through their courses and everything, and they may not have had a chance to or an opportunity to get wet and see some of the local sites. This being an easy one, thought this would be a good introduction for you. So Matt, why don't you give us an overview of the site?
So as Gary mentioned, we're here at Sunabe South Steps. It's a favorite site by a lot of instructors on island due to its easy entry and easy exit with the steps leading to the water. But it's also a very favored site due to novice divers, due to its shallow depths and easy navigation. But even experienced divers like to come here. Night dives, looking for mackerel life, and you can see a vast array of creatures here. Everything down from little tiny shrimp to rays and turtles if you're lucky enough. It's a beautiful site, again, like I mentioned, with an easy entry and easy exit. Right here at the bottom, nice shallow area with a little kind of bowl in the reef where, again, for your beginner divers, good place to kind of just get yourself situated before you actually go out on your first couple of dives after certification.
Make that buoyancy check too.
Exactly. Good weight check. From there, you just go out over a little shallow reef. So this is definitely a site that you want to dive at high tide, because at low tide, that reef can actually get exposed and it makes it very difficult to get over to the actual dive area. Once you pass that and you go out, you're only in about 25 foot of water with a nice rocky kind of crushed coral bottom. Of course, you want to stay neutrally buoyant and stay off of it, but that crushed coral is where a lot of creatures like to live. You can see the pipefish out here, lots of carpet sea anemones, and then as you traverse and go through the area, you'll find big coral heads filled with soft coral, lots of parrotfish, lots of small reef fish, and then as you actually traverse south of the site, there's a nice little drop off where it drops down to about 40-45 feet with a beautiful sandy bottom where you can find everything from large rays to barracuda, all kinds of crazy sea life out here.
Yeah, good. So, hey, it's a great opportunity to gain some experience and see some of the native marine life that maybe you've not seen in your underwater diving experiences so far. So from a safety perspective, the entry and the exit points, yes, they're very easy, but you can see the water conditions today are not pristine or glass, pool-like or what have you, so there might be some challenges dealing with getting in and getting out. So first thing we need to do when we get to a dive site is to read the site. So you have a lot of experience here, Matt, so give us a good example of how we would read the site today.
Well, I like to tell all my students, you can look at any weather report, any sea condition report, but nothing's ever going to give you the accurate reading as if eyes on. Now, if you look out at the site, towards the outer side, you can see a lot of green. That's going to be a good indication that visibility is going to be a lot lower because of the sandy bottom. That's green, that's the sand suspended up inside the water column. Also, looking at the entry, these steps have a lot of algae on them. So you want to look at the entry and the exit. You know, the dive site, for snorkelers, this would be a no-go.
A no-go day, it's pretty rough.
For divers, the surface conditions aren't necessarily always indicative to how bad it's going to be underwater, but at the same time, if you can't get in or get out safely, then is it really even worth the effort?
Exactly. It's all about your own personal comfort and your experience, so you need to take that into account to a high degree.
I'd agree 100%. You know, for me, I wouldn't think this is that bad, but I've got hundreds of dives at this site alone.
Right.
But, you know, I would recommend my students not come out here on a day like this.
If you've got, 5 or 10 dives under your belt beyond your entry-level certification, this is one where you'd have to sit back and think, do I or don't I? And you have to have a good conversation with yourself in that regard.
Yeah, and that's where you hear a lot of instructors and leadership will always say, give it that 30-second observation. If you can't make up your mind in 30 seconds, then the answer's already given to you.
Exactly. So, absolutely. So we got a little bit of a choppy day, but for those of us with experience, not a bad site to go. For novice divers or new divers, it would be something you'd want to have some some serious thought at, or maybe if you're with somebody with more experience that can guide you and give you a little benefit of their experience as you get in and make that decision. So, well, Matt, appreciate you coming out for another edition of Dive the Rock.
Always.
And may your bubbles always be going up, and have a good day.